Guys, welcome back for the new additions that are for the channel. So click subscribe because there's heaps of new videos that are going to come through. Okay, now we were talking about tower moments the other day and how to directly get out of them. Now that can be connected to something at work. It can be connected to perhaps a relationship breaking down. And really that's what I'm wanting to focus on in this video. After something like this happens, you do get to a point where where you question, your mindset. Did you see something correctly? Were you seeing it incorrectly? And it can be extremely difficult because you can almost psychoanalyze yourself a little bit too much. And that's when we're going through that healing process. So you need to be, number one, understanding that when things like this happen, it can be on a scale from 1 to 10. So, and it's no right or wrong. It's just where you're feeling on that day. Each day, the energy can fluctuate and you can get to a more comfortable place with the energy. And then a lot of external things can start happening where your finance might be impacted, your home, your accommodation, your self-esteem. So this is really going to be a very large series of videos. And some of them in the self-help ones that I am going to do, they're going to be directly linked in the website so that you can actually just go grab them and have them permanently. Now, what I will say is, number one, for mindfulness, be kind to yourself during this process and try not to put a time frame on it. Number two, I would say, is what you can handle in each day, deal with. And as much as we look at things and think, gosh, I've just had a breakup, I've got to go to work, sometimes that can be to a benefit to you, because simply focusing on what has transpired sometimes can be very overwhelming. So again, it is understandable if you can or you can't do that. So it's about being gentle with yourself, about being understanding, and also really pacing yourself through that energy so that you can get the best out of the situation that you're dealing with directly in front of you. Also changing it up a bit so it can help you through those flows of the energy where you add something different each day. And when I'm saying that, I'm meaning it may mean that you actually leave the room. It might mean that you leave the house, just step outside, walk to the letterbox. It depends on how severe the situation is, but it's just adding what was normal back into the equation again so that you can break that cycle of energy. I know myself, I've had several breakups, and very much it can be the smallest things, and we all know that it does change, but when it has happened many times, you can come to a place where you're thinking, is this me? Now, yes, we can get to that psychoanalytical stage where we can see our part in situations and perhaps how we can apply our energies to relationships in the future should we choose to differently. But to not get into that mindset that because something has transpired that it's constantly going to happen again, that frequency will attract like. So we do have to be super cautious about that. But try not to psychoanalyze those aspects while you're healing, because it's a natural process that we think, but no, it's not so. So rest assured that yes, you can have beautiful connections and relationships. It's about getting your vibration, where you need it to be. The other thing I would say is, if you can venture out and connect in with friends, do that, even if it's once a month. It's something that's going to change the frequency, but pick those high vibe people that, you're going to need to, again, be at that frequency, but you will match them. So if you are mixing with people that are upbeat, more your kind of vibe, that's what you're going to attract into your life. It is like the laws of attraction. So shake it up a bit once a week, even if it's a telephone call. That is an energy transfer. You can change that energy through to make it lighter and brighter for yourself. The next thing, obviously, is, okay, where to from here? Sometimes that's overwhelming and you need to pace yourself and take one step at a time. So try and work with more the 3D things in front of your life, the things that you need to address. Now, again, listing them is going to break that down so that it's not getting to a point where you're thinking, my whole world's in chaos. How on earth am I going to deal with this energy, and where do I start? So a list is helpful. Even if it's down to, I have all these bills, write them down. write on the list that you need to address the bills. And even if that's just one task that takes a whole week to do, that you sit down, and it might be filing, it might be catching up with debtors, etc. Do what you can. The next is reach out and you know, get the support from people around you. And if you don't have it, there are numbers. There's also the aspect that perhaps alone time sometimes isn't bad, but even if you're just walking or going to a shopping centre, you are in an energy field of other people, so it's changing it up, because 9 times out of 10 you want that quiet time where you don't want people around, but not to isolate yourself to the magnitude where you're physically not mixing with other people. Now, in the other videos, I'll be adding more links. I'll also be making like key point forms of mindsets and things you can do to change this equation, and I'll be going in more detail in the next video.